Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in our Globe community, and welcome to the last session prior to the ending reception. And this we thought this is a new addition, I guess, to the agenda over previous years. And what we wanted to do was to allow you all to meet the working groups and to have discussions during some breakout sessions with the working groups. One objective here is for you to get to know the working groups and the great work that they do and how much work that they do, because they truly are working groups, and the representation that that the working groups are composed of from across the community. And then the second objective here is to get people to also consider joining one of the working groups. We go through a nomination process each year for the working groups that will be starting shortly in the fall, and any open slots that become available on the working groups are available. And will be publicized as such. And so that's the second objective, is for people to get to know about the group and then perhaps consider joining the group as well. And so to give you some background information on that, these are some of the following characteristics that all the working groups have. There are 7 members on each working group, 1 from each of our 6 regions, and then there's 1 at-large member. There's a chair and a note taker in the working group as well, and the chair helps guide the work of the working group. There are terms of service of 1 to 3 years that all the members on the working groups can sit on, and at the end of 3 years, you can nominate yourself or be nominated to extend your term of service as well. These are all based on the terms of reference that are available on the website, and they're linked here in the presentation, but all of the functioning, the operations, and so on of the working groups are outlined in a terms of reference document for each of the working groups. We tend to operate under what's called Robert's Rules for things like voting and so on, and making sure that there's a quorum in place for particular decisions that the working groups are making about the work that they're doing. We also last year, as a result of some of the expanding work of the working groups, dedicated web space on globe.gov to the products and the materials and so on that the working groups create, and we were trying to disseminate those to the larger community. And then we've also set up through GIO some Google access so that the working groups can all work on shared documents together. And so one of the things that we ask is that when a member joins, that they create a Google or a Gmail address for this access and so on, and getting access to that material. Some of the other provisions that are within the purview of being on the working group is that you attend the annual meeting, and as part of attending that annual meeting, there is, when we are live and in person, there's a day-long working group meeting prior to the annual meeting. And then at the end of the annual meeting, there's another half-day meeting for the working group to come back together and plan out what they're looking at for the year as tasks and so on. When we are live and in person, travel to the annual meeting is covered by GIO, but in many cases, the logistics for that will be run through the RCO and the region that the person is representing. So, as I said, the nomination process to become part of a working group will begin in September. And this is a call for all open seats that are in working groups. And we try to stagger new members coming on board and other members leaving, so that we don't lose institutional knowledge of the working group or how processes work in the working group and so on. And there is an onboarding document for new members coming on board that we've developed. And generally that process goes from September through December. And then the person for that open seat is selected in December. We confirm that they're still willing to be on the working group, and then the term starts in January. Each working group has one GIO liaison that works with the working group on various logistics, and then also if working groups would like to have a subject matter expert or some resource like that, the GIO liaison member will work on getting that person or paper or whatever that resource might be, so that the working group can continue its work. Each member also has a globe.gov account. You have to attend at least 9 of the 12 working group meetings throughout the year. Meetings are held virtually throughout the year, apart from the annual meeting. And they're all held via Zoom. And so to do that, to be a participant like that, you need to have a good functioning internet connection. And we know that that can be problematic for some people. So it's one of the things that you need to consider as you're looking at joining a working group, is how good is your internet connectivity and your ability to be able to join those meetings. You also are asked to fully participate during online meetings and between the online meetings. And so often there's emails that the chairs will send out with information or looking for feedback, and it's important that you respond to those and respond to all Globe email correspondences during your service. Some of this can be around logistics, but again, it could be internal discussions that are going on within the group or between groups. Maintain sufficient written and oral English skills. The meetings are generally held in English. And then maintain an updated My Page. So all people who have Globe accounts have My Pages, and so for working group members, it's particularly important that you keep that updated, because people may ask or may look at your background and so on in deciding if they should ask you a question or not. And part of the whole idea behind the working groups is that they are conduits for discussions and so on, and issues that people might be facing in the regions, because when you are on a working group, you're a regional representative. You're not alone representing your own country, but you're representing the region. And so that's a mindset that you should maintain as you're writing your nomination as well. There are forms that we ask people to complete. They're pretty straightforward, but we do ask that you write a little piece on why you think you should be part of a working group. And it's having that perspective of a regional representative in addition to your own country, That's very important, and that's something that we rely on at GIO. And I know that the data information system folks rely on it as they're part of the technology working group, that it is important to have that regional voice. And so that's why it's also important to be at the meetings and to voice concerns or issues or good things that you're hearing, any or all of those. From your region, because again, we rely on you as being part of the voice of the community, and it's very important that you are that voice. So that was that was an overview of the working groups, and I'm not sure that we have time for any questions on that, but we're always happy to answer any questions about the working groups. And what we're going to do now is actually have the working groups talk a little bit about give you an overview, sorry, of each of the working groups really quick before we break out into the individual rooms.
So I'm going to start introducing myself as part of the DEI working group. My name is Juan Felipe Restrepo Mesa. I'm the vice chair, and I'm very glad to present the rest of our members from Colombia, from Cartagena. I work in the Colegio Montessori of Cartagena and been club member since 2018. And these 3 years have been very, very intense in terms of starting this working group. Thank you very much.
So great, if we could have you can see
Francis is going to talk about the education working group.
Okay. Thank you, Lynn.
Am I supposed to come in now or later on in the discussion?
Now.
No. Oh, okay. Welcome everybody, and thanks to everyone participating in this annual meeting. Before you is the education working group and all the members from the different regions: Africa, myself, Francis; Asia, Rod; Europe, Uli; and then Latin America. As the names go down, I think I don't have to read down all the names, but these are the people we work with in aligning the work which is related to education working group. And yes, I think I'm one of the few who are up for substitute. So I've enjoyed working with the group for the last 2 seasons, I should say. Otherwise, Lynn, should I go?
Yeah. So we're just going to go through the other groups real quick as well. So thank you, Francis, for that. So evaluation.
So I think our chair, Yogendra, could not be here today. Is that correct? Yogendra, are you here? Just checking quickly. Okay. Hello and welcome. My name is Eleanor Jaffe. I am the North America representative and vice chair of the Evaluation Working Group, sitting in for our chair who could not be here today. And he can jump in and correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you for joining us in this session. The GLOBE terms of reference state that the purpose of the Evaluation Working Group is to guide and assist in the identification or documentation of the effectiveness, impacts, or outcomes of the GLOBE program. Our group also helps to gather information from the GLOBE community to better understand how to support members at all levels in GLOBE program implementation. This information is reported back to the GIO and the GLOBE community. For example, the working group has developed a teacher needs assessment survey to learn about what teachers need to implement and evaluate their GLOBE projects, an alumni survey to learn about the outcomes of alumni and potential roles for them in the GLOBE network, and a student survey to learn about the impact of GLOBE involvement on attitudes towards science and future plans for STEM careers. Our members have also contributed their evaluation expertise and multi-regional perspectives to other instruments used in GLOBE evaluation, including the survey you will complete at the end of the annual meeting. You can hear more about these activities and our group members in the report out video and in our breakout room during this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Eleanor. And now we have science.
I'm Kostas Kartalis. I'm a member of the science group. Becky Bolger, who is the chairperson. I don't think she's able to attend due to a technical issue. We have a large group of members from different disciplines, and that's important because the science of GLOBE is a transdisciplinary aspect. It has to link together different disciplines, always related to the environment. And the job that we are doing is practically the work that we're doing is practically work that supports the overall progress of GLOBE. Last year, we examined the different protocols under the guidance of the headquarters and Tony Murphy, and we developed a multi-criteria system in order to assess which of the protocols are to continue or which are potentially deactivated. So it is a very lively process. It needs commitment. I fully agree with that with Tony. Commitment is needed in order to fulfill all the different tasks that the science group has. And the most important thing is that we also discuss about the challenges of science in the future years, also related to GLOBE. I stop here. I may complete the work that we're doing later.
Great, thank you, Kostas. And technology?
Hello, the Technology Working Group consists of really nice people from all around the world. And our main role is to serve as a connection between GLOBE user community, GLOBE TIS, and GLOBE GIO. We are mapping user experience, we are providing testing, and also we try to find new technological solutions and solve challenges to provide a better GLOBE experience to different target groups. And our really main task is to support Dave and Cornell in their work.
Great, thank you, Laura. And thank you all who introduced the various working groups there. And just to remind you that we do have 5 working groups: diversity, equity, and inclusion, education, evaluation, science, and then technology. And we're going to break out into different breakout rooms for the next part of the session. And there you can hear a little bit more in detail about the working group's work, and then there can be a question and answer piece as part of that. So any topics that you would like to bring up and ask the working group about, and then that will take us to the end of the session. We won't be coming back together as a group for that final piece, but you will just end in that breakout session. And then after that, we will have the final closing words and some news about what's coming up this year and about the annual meeting next year. So decide which working group you would like to hear from, and you can go to those breakout rooms. And I think those breakout rooms should be appearing at the bottom of your Zoom screen.
Yep, just for everybody, click on breakout rooms and you'll see the listed rooms, and you just join whichever working group breakout room that you'd like to join or have questions for. Okay, see you in the technology working group. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, everyone.
Here we are.
Where do you click on breakout rooms?
Down at the bottom, where is chat, share screen. And then if you see names listed,
Actually, it's probably under more.
no, actually you have to use the,
Yeah,
Oh, I
yep.
see breakout rooms. I see it. Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.